Hello everyone. Today is Tuesday, April 16th. It's 9:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and it's 3:52 local time here in Hawaii. So it's only 10 minutes to 4 in the afternoon, my local time. I'm just getting around to making today's video. I had earlier commitments and I couldn't make the video before the market closed. Anyway, none of my charts have been refreshed. You can see the time and sales still running in the overnight session. The E-mini S&P currently trading at 29.11 and a quarter. And notice on the start screen here, I'm showing my website because people have asked, how do I get the Autotrader, or where are you? So here is our website and here's the web address. And I wanted to just remind everyone that last Friday I did an interview with a client who qualified for a combine with Autotrader. There's several companies out there now offering funded accounts, also known as combines. And anyway, this particular client, it was a great interview. The interview is about 25 minutes long, but it's really great because really important issues are discussed, such as overfills and orders and how to use the Autotrader. And this is somebody that's having success with the Autotrader with real money in real time. He qualified for quite a large combine funded account, $150,000 funded account. He told me he received his first check, which was $8,000 last month. And so the interview addresses a lot of issues, a lot of questions that you all have. And we cover things like slippage, overfills, the efficiency of the Autotrader, how well it works, and a number of those things. So I suggest you watch that video. If you go to our website and you click on this YouTube icon right here, that will bring you directly to our YouTube channel. And in our YouTube channel, here is the client interview, which is this video here. And this is vlog number 699. Today's video is video number 700, but this is 20 minutes long, and I suggest you watch it, especially those of you that want to know about, do you trade the Autotrader in real time, and does anybody? And this offers some proof of that. You can also search. So here on our video channel, all the way on the right, you can search any of our videos. So if you want to search, for example, live trading, just type that and then just click the little search icon or hit enter. And then any video where we have live trading or I talk about it will display here, and you can see there's quite a few. If you wanted to search for E-mini S&P, any videos showing the E-mini S&P, just type it in the search box and hit enter, and you'll see all the videos where I mention the E-mini S&P or any other thing you may want to search. Perhaps you want to search for videos where I show performance. So you could type in performance and hit enter, and then any video that I might show performance might be in here. Okay, so here showing some performance reports in this video. Okay, so that search feature is useful, and I suggest you give it a try. Once again, the easiest way to search our videos is just click on our YouTube icon here, and that will take you directly to our YouTube channel. And in this section right here is where you would search. Okay, today was an excellent day for the Autotrader. First up is the DAX on our Super Renko 14 tick. Big surprise, the Super Renko 14 on the DAX showing again, and this hit its goal and had a tick of slippage when it hit its goal, as we use a market order when we hit our goal. This was discussed in the client interview when we were talking about slippage. So just a single trade here. This was hit its goal within 30 minutes of trading. This was a nice run right off the open. Well, the open of the DAX actually an hour before, but I found that that first hour is not very fruitful, so we start trading the DAX 1 hour after the Eurex open, and that worked out pretty good here. So the DAX hitting its goal on a single trade within the first 30 minutes of trading. Okay, the DAX on a Superenco 6-tick chart using our step moving average filter, and you can see how the step moving average stayed blue through this noise here, and we have a relatively modest goal in the DAX of 1500. So this hit its goal on a single trade. Also on that long rally from the near the open of the Eurex here. So our goal on this is 1500, so we obviously had some slippage with our market order at the end of that trade. Okay, next is the crude oil on a Superenco 7-tick. This is actually a chart we've shown for a very long time. If you go back to our videos 2 and 3 years ago, you'll see this chart. And I've kind of brought this back. It's traded very consistently. Today's trade was about as perfect as it gets. You can see we were filled on our limit order from the close of this bar. This has a 4-tick pullback, and that's about 4 ticks there. Our goal is 1200, and I'm trailing by the volatility stop, and then at 35 ticks I'm trailing by 0 bars and 2 ticks, and that's essentially how we got out of this trade near the bottom, is trailing by the close of this bar plus 2 ticks right here, and our limit order being filled, and that's about as perfect of a trade as you can get. So this hit its goal and probably had some slippage on 2 contracts and finished at 1120. Okay, so I decided to put the NASDAQ on a 987-tick line break chart with our open range filter and talk about trading at levels. This did pretty good. It started out with a losing trade, and the drawdown was about 250 per contract. And then it recovered with these 2 trades, a small winner here and then this winner, and finished at 925 for the day. The goal on this is 1300, so shy of its goal, but very nice comeback with minimal drawdown, only about 250 per contract. But once again, showing our open range filter working out very nicely. Notice the how this opening range acted as resistance basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times here. Okay, the DAX on a 150 Heikin-Ashi chart with our open range filter got filled on our first profit target, and this stayed long through all of this action here because we're not exiting just because the bars turn red. Certainly you can tell the auto trader to do that, but in this case we're going by our money management here. This is a limit order with an 8-tick pullback, and our goal in this is 2550, so well short of the goal, but still a respectable performance of almost $900 for 2 contracts on a single trade. Okay, the E-mini S&P on a Superenco 4-tick chart. This has a higher time frame filter of Superenco 4. The base time frame, this chart was positive yesterday as well. Base time frame is 618 sensitivity, and then the higher time frame is also a Superenco 4 with a higher sensitivity. And so this had a loser here, only drew down a little over 100 per contract, and then came back with this actually 2 trades here, kind of back to back, and hit our goal of 850, and we ended up with positive slippage here and finished out at 900 for the day. But just a beautiful chart here, 1 loser and 2 nice winners, ultimately hitting its goal at the low of the day right here. Okay, the DAX on a 34-tick line break. This is a pretty fast chart for the DAX. This did 1,025 for the day, and the goal on this is 2,025. This was moderately active today. Looks like we first drew down about $400, or only $200 per contract, and then came back above water, about the same, about 400. Drew down again, this time only about 250, and then finally came back with this winning trade here. It was this large winner with just great execution here, getting out near the top of this move. This is what kind of brought us back from our drawdown. You know, a small loser here and a couple of winners here. Finished at 1025, still a very respectable return of about 500 per contract. Okay, the E-mini S&P with a Super Renko 4 tick and a Super Renko 6 higher time frame. Another long-running, consistent chart for BWT. This has a goal of 850, and we did 575, just shy of our goal. Kind of similar trades to the one with the 4 tick. Same higher time frame but different sensitivity, just different setup here. Kind of drew down about 150 per contract and then came back with these two back-to-back winners and finished at 575. Still very good. The E-mini S&P on a 5 Renko chart with a higher time frame filter of Super Renko 6 has a goal of 800, and this has a first profit target of 20 ticks, but we're trailing by 0 bars at 20 ticks, and that's why we got stopped out here. Anyway, this did 412.50, still a decent gain for the day. Okay, a modest gain on another E-mini S&P Super Renko 4 tick. Just a single trade here, hitting its first target, and then getting trail stopped out here. This has the higher time frame filter of also Super Renko 4, but slightly different sensitivity. Okay, another crude oil on a Super Renko 4 tick with a Super Renko 6 higher time frame filter. This has a goal of 1200 and a limit order with a 1 tick pullback. This had a modest gain of 220, but it did have an equity high of about a little over $400. This is using our open range filter. Okay, the crude oil on a Super Renko 8 tick with the gray background. You've seen this chart a lot. This had an equity high of above $800 and then had a losing trade here and dragged us down to 330. Looks like our equity high here was about $850, and so our goal on this is 1,020. So very close to our goal, and gave some back with a losing trade here. It's also using our line break logic. Okay, the E-mini S&P on a Super Renko 6 tick had a couple of small losers here. The drawdown was only about $100 on both of these trades, so that's $50 per contract, no big deal. And then it came back with this winner here and finished with a modest gain of 262.50 for the day. Okay, the bonds on a 34 tick line break basically broke even for the day. 1 tick profit. Unfortunately, we didn't get out trailing the stop by the first target. So this is the kind of thing that I look at and think, you know, trailing the stop by a bar or so, or by the volatility stop, which would be this level here, after you hit your first target is conservative, but on the other hand, the gain here would have been significantly different. It would have been more like a $350 to $400 gain for the day. So these are the kind of tweaks that you can improve by observing the Autotrader on a losing day. Okay, same thing here on the bonds, a modest gain of a couple of ticks. Now, if you were using the weekly open range filter, we would have been able to take this short trade here. but not this long. So it's just an example of the differences between using the daily and the weekly open range filter. Okay, a modest gain in the gold contract. This had a nice winning trade here and an equity high of a little over 500, and then a couple of losing trades here finished us at 180. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching today.